Surveillance Cameras, Soldiers of Safety or Privacy Invaders by Lindsay Rock. Have you ever seen a television show in which people with video cameras catch their friends and family members in awkward or embarrassing situations, only to emerge at the last minute yelling, "Surprise, you're on camera"? Usually the clips are humorous in one way or another, and fun for everyone involved. In the United States, however, a growing number of cameras are monitoring every move people make. From automated teller machines, ATMs, to school buses to grocery stores, millions of surveillance cameras catch people in action, many when they don't even realize it. The increased use of surveillance cameras in public and private locations has spurred both controversy and debate. Surveillance cameras are everywhere. Surveillance cameras are installed on traffic lights to help deter drivers from running red lights and speeding, and to catch those drivers who do. They keep watch over the entrances and exits to businesses and other buildings. Shopping malls and other stores utilize surveillance cameras to prevent shoplifting. Surveillance cameras monitor airports, apartment building lobbies, hospitals, elevators, banks, and parking garages. On school buses and in schools, surveillance cameras keep watch over students and help faculty members to identify those students who cause problems or misbehave. People even install cameras in their homes as part of their home security systems. Cameras probably record your actions many times a day, whether you realize it or not. Though surveillance cameras have become quite numerous, many people welcome the extra safety and comfort they provide. People who argue in favor of cameras often mention that cameras help to reduce crime. The idea is that criminals will be less likely to commit crimes if they are aware that cameras are recording their actions. In this way, cameras aid in preventing crime. Cameras also help police officers and other law enforcement officials to detect crimes before they are committed. People who monitor the cameras are able to immediately dispatch officials to the scene of a crime, which makes it possible to catch more criminals in the act. In addition, surveillance cameras provide video evidence of crimes and the criminals who committed them. Investigators can use these tapes to convict criminals and put them in jail. Finally, one person can monitor numerous cameras in different areas at the same time. This cuts down on the amount of officers needed to patrol the streets. While surveillance cameras do have advantages, they are not without disadvantages. People who argue against cameras often point out that surveillance cameras are expensive to install and maintain. Once the cameras are in place, someone has to monitor them for activity. Otherwise, they are just useless machines that take up valuable space. While people who support the use of surveillance cameras argue that cameras do help to deter criminals and to reduce crime, people who argue against the cameras believe that crime rates will remain the same. Once the surveillance cameras are in place, criminals will simply find a way to avoid them when committing crimes. In addition, because police forces have a limited number of officers, they will focus their attention only on those areas monitored by cameras, thus increasing the amount of crime in other areas. Oftentimes, a single network ties multiple surveillance cameras together, which means that the images recorded by the cameras are available for viewing by more than just one person. Another concern is the creation of computer software that uses images from surveillance cameras to identify individuals without their knowledge. Also, if people know they are under surveillance, they might feel uncomfortable about expressing themselves freely. For example, a student who might have complained about a certain exam or activity during lunch will keep his opinion to himself for fear that a camera will record his words and the wrong person will hear them. The student is censoring his right to speak freely because of a surveillance camera. This is perhaps the main conflict in the debate about the use of surveillance cameras. Those who are against the cameras believe that they are an invasion of privacy. The cameras are able to record private conversations and personal interactions in public places and therefore limit their right to speak freely. Friends who meet in the park to chat or business partners who meet for coffee are in danger of having their conversations recorded. The flip side of the argument, however, is that there is no reason to expect privacy in a public place anyway. By choosing to meet in a public place, people run the risk of having someone eavesdrop on their conversation or having a photographer snap their photograph, whether a surveillance camera is present or not. The only sure way for people to protect their privacy is to remain in their own homes.